Hola, my friends. Well, it is the beginning of a new adventure. Last Sunday was my first attempt at doing a pray fast with you. I'm going to talk about that a little tiny bit at the end. It started off really good for me. Then I kind of got off on the wayside with some body chemistry issues, a little distracted, but I never lost focus of the prayer, just a little bit on the fast. And also, I'm going to be embarking on a new process with you here on YouTube. And one of the things you guys don't know is how many different incarnations all my videos have had. I deleted most of the really old stuff. One of the things I was always fascinated with was writing letters. And that's something I've been thinking about forever. And how much I love to get letters in the mail, how much I love to put together creative things. And I've been doing these things in my mind and just doodling forever. There's two books that have been super influential lately. And through my process. And one is called The Desert Mothers. It's the early Christians who went out into the desert and really sought God. And I could really identify with them. And they had a very rich life. But, in the olden days, they wrote letters or they physically went and traveled to see each other. And that's much of our history is from the letters that they wrote. The second one is the series with Griffin and Sabine, and it's an artist, Michael Pollock, I think, I just forgot his name, I'll show you in a minute, who created a story with postcards and letters, and it's a very intricately published, very graphic, very colorful, but there's something about that style of art and that idea that stuck with me for years and years and years. It was written in the early 90s, and so I've been planning these things in my mind for a long time, and I'm just starting to get to a point where I can pull some of my art supplies out. So what I'm going to start doing with the videos is one of the ways to help me focus is to just talk to one person. So I'm going to be talking to a friend I'm calling Zoe. She's going to be a fellow social worker. She went out to become an investigative journalist out in the world. I went on my journey. And it will be a bit of a dialogue, I think, between the two of us, because it really represents the two halves and conversations I have in my head. And so at the same time, I want to use that as a way to kind of facilitate my moving forward and developing some of the artwork and the ideas for a newsletter that I've been playing around with. I have no idea if it will happen or help. I have no idea what the future holds because the world, it be on fire. But this is just setting the stage for the next way I want to tell a story. I'm going to see how it works out once the editing is done. So with that, I hope you enjoy something new, something different. But I really like the idea of talking to an old friend versus the randomness of YouTube. And she would be my ideal friend in many ways. So I'm going to be talking to her, but I'm really talking to you. So for those of you who get something from it, awesome. If not, as you know, I have a lot of moving in and out of my channel. But we're still on good for every Sunday. I'm going to be doing my devotion to really trying to hold up the energy for men to go out and take action in the world. And in the meantime, I'm going to be working on holding my peace within. So that's what a lot of this is going to be looking like, that with, sort of, and just how I can do it creatively. So with that, here we go. And I, my friends, will see you next time. So hey Zoe, this is Jill. I know it's been a while. I know I've kind of disappeared these last couple years, but I think things are kind of coming into some clarity for me. And, well, I was hoping to ask you a favor. I'm trying to move on to the next leg of a project. And as you know, organizing and doing the day-to-day stuff is not my strength. So what I wanted to do is actually write you a letter and include some of the artwork and the ideas, if that's okay. But first, I just wanted to do a quick catch-up. And I also wanted to tell you I found out something cool. Did you know your name's Zoe Ruth? Zoe means life, and Ruth means friend. So I really like that, a lifetime friend. And that's kind of what you feel like for me after having been the only one who's still around after our years as social workers. How many decades ago? But neither one of us could take it. And it's always been fascinating to me how we've gone off in two very separate directions. You went out to save the world by trying to tell the truth about what's happening out in the world. And I wanted to save the world by finding out what the truth was. Some of what was out, but mostly what was within. And, well, here we are. So, again, I hope you're doing well. I want to just do a quick catch-up on what's happening with me. I'm still in Arizona. I don't know if I told you I went to Arizona, but I'm parked in a new place. It's pretty, and you'll never guess, there are still cows. I don't own the cows. I'm not responsible for the cows, but some guy came through herding the cows yesterday. So we have cows and babies. I like the babies. So it's kind of nice to see some animals again. The place around me is really pretty. There's all kinds of fascinating rock sculptures and not intentional, but by nature. And just, you never know what you're going to find when you just point yourself in a direction and hike out. Lots of red rock, volcanic. I think I'm sitting on top of a volcano. It's also summer. We're just getting ready to move into summer. And so that's going to be my first goal with you, is to put together a summer, kind of a quarterly journal / newsletter. That doesn't mean I'll get it done, but I've decided that I'm going to write a book about what all this has kind of been about, these last, what I'm calling my 40-year journey here. And while I do that, I also want to put together this little newsletter on some of the how-tos and what I've found over the years. So that's what I'm hoping that you'll take a look at with me while we move forward into a world that has just not stopped being on fire. It's just really hard right now. I don't know what it's like for you, but for me, I'm really struggling making decisions. I still have both trailers. I'm still trying to sell the white trailer, but who knows? So far, the horse trailer looks like a bomb has gone off and things have organized themselves on the walls, but it's going to rain, so I have to keep covering everything up, which makes it really hard to get ahead of this. And I can't believe how many things I've unpacked. And I still have so much stuff. But I need the stuff, so I really haven't figured out what's next with the stuff. But that's part of what I want to work on, is really finding a way to be simple in nature and recreate a real sense of beauty. I just have been in survival mode for so long. I guess we both have. You're out there surviving, trying to dig out news stories. I'm trying to survive just in the dirt and digging out. So I wanted to say hi. I wanted to tell you what we're up to. I'm not sure how often we will be able to connect. I look forward to your letters and your postcards to give me updates. And I just wanted to say I am doing one other thing. On Sundays, I really want to take the skill set of what I'm calling fasting and prayer in the wilderness and apply it to this idea of holding up men, holding up the masculine. I think the biggest thing that's come out of all this stuff for me is how to finally kind of let go of trying to save the world. And now I'm really trying to understand what it means to hold peace in the world. And it's really hard because, as you know, the world is in the great big burn. I think things are only going to get crazier. So I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying brave. I know you will. You always are. And I can't wait for the next update. And I will let you know as I go here what I'm working on. But I appreciate you being my friend and hanging in there all these years. We didn't set the world on fire. It did it all by itself. So So as I always say to all my YouTube friends, I'm just going to take a deep breath. I'm going to invite you to do that while you're reading this, and then hopefully, my friend, I will see you soon or talk to you, and that will be our next time.